SK Telecom Company, Limited is a South Korean wireless telecommunications operator. It is part of the SK Group, one of the country's largest chaebols. SK Telecom is South Korea's largest wireless carrier. It leads the local market with 50.5% share as of 2008. Since its creation in 1984, the company has evolved from a first-generation analog cellular system, to second-generation CDMA, then to the world's first third-generation synchronized IMT 2000 cellular system. SK Telecom also became the world Euro unregistered trademark's first carrier to commercialize HSDPA in May 2006. SK expanded into the landline market by acquiring second-rated fixed-line operator Hanaro Telecom in February 2008. The companion Euro unregistered trademark's online brands include a Euro OE-Nate, a Euro web portal, a Euro OE June, a Euro mobile multimedia service, a Euro OE Monita, a Euro an e-banking mobile app, a Euro OE Nate Drive, a Euro a telematics service and a Euro OE digital home, a Euro an online interface to remote control household appliances. Online services are offered through tech subsidiary SK Communications, which also dominates the social networks market in South Korea. A Euro OE SciWorld. A Euro is the largest social media site by membership, and a Euro OE NATO and a Euro is the #1 instant messaging client. In 2004, SK Telecom launched a Euro OE Hanbayul, a Euro the world a Euro unregistered trademark's first DMB satellite. TU Media, SK Telecom's digital media arm, handles DMB TV broadcasts. History: SK Telecom was established in March 1984 under the name Korea Mobile Telecommunications Services Corporation, but was renamed Korea Mobile Telecommunications Corporation in May 1988. It was a subsidiary of the state monopoly phone company, Korea Telecom, until KT sold it off in 1993. In June 1994, SK Group became Korea Mobile Telecommunications Corporation's largest shareholder. KMTC officially joined the SK Group in January 1997 and changed its name to SK Telecom in March of that year. In October 2000, SK Telecom became the second operator in the world after NTT Co to launch a commercial 3G service using WCDMA technology. In January 2002, this was followed up by launching the world's first CDMA 2001X EV2 network, offering greatly increased data transmission speeds to pre-existing 2G networks. In May 2005, SK Telecom divested 60% of SK Teletech stock to cell phone maker Pantech. SK remains the second largest shareholder by holding on to the rest of Teletech's stock. In 2006, the well-known Sky brand of mobile devices became fully owned by Pantech as it finalized its takeover of SK Teletech. 1984 a Euro 1993, early years founded on March 29, 1984 as Korea Mobile Telecommunications Services Corporation, the state-owned carrier introduced pagers and car phones to the Korean market. May 1984 saw the launch of the car phone service. Korea Mobile changed its name to Korea Mobile Telecommunications Corporation in May 1988. In July, AMP Cellular Network was initially launched in Seoul metropolitan area. By 1991 nationwide coverage was complete. In April 1993, the South Korean government through KMTC adopted CDMA as the national cellular telephone system. 1994 Euro 1996, privatization and the CDMA standard through privatization, SK Group became Korea Mobile Telecommunications Corporation's largest shareholder in June 1994. In October 1994, Korea's first CDMA system was introduced to the public for the first time. In January 1995, KMTC reached the 1 million subscriber mark. Korea Mobile Telecommunications became the third Korean firm to be listed on the New York Stock Exchange in June 1996. Later that year, South Korea got its first commercial CDMA network. Operating in Seoul in October, it is considered one of the world's earliest commercial CDMA networks. equals 1997 Euro 2000, international expansion equals, SK Group completed its takeover of KMTC in January 1997, as it became the world's sixth carrier to attain 10 million subscriptions. Around that time, it also began constructing the Northeast Asian CDMA belt encompassing China, Japan, Vietnam, and the rest of the Asian continent. In March 1997, to reflect new changes, KMTC changed its name to SK Telecom, and in October, NetsGo, an online service, was launched. In June 1998, SK Telink, the international call service division, started offering commercial overseas call service. In December 1998, SK Teletech launched its first handset. In April 1999, SK Telecom entered the Mongolian market by co-founding Skytel LLC with nearly 30% ownership stake. TTL, a wireless plan targeting young users, and NTOP, a cellular internet service we launched in July and October 1999, respectively. In December 1999, SK Telecom surpassed 10 million subscriber mark. The following month, it launched the World Euro unregistered trademark's first commercial CDMA 2000 service. By the end of the year, the carrier won a contract for asynchronous IMT 2000 facility. Equals 2001 Euro 2007, cellular internet and market accrual equals. The new millennium ushered in an era of cross-platform online networks that saw efforts to integrate mobile services, as SK Telecom was exploring new value-creating models such as m-commerce and satellite DMB service. In January 2002, an acquisition of Shinsegae Telecom Co. was completed. Also in January, the company deployed World Euro unregistered trademark's first commercial synchronous IMT 2000 facility. In March 2002, the carrier struck international roaming deals between countries using CDMA and GSM networks. An agreement was signed with Israel's Peelphone in April to sell proprietary software that will operate on the carrier's existing CDMA network and future 1X CDMA network. In July, a MOU was signed with China Unicom to establish a joint venture. In November, two mobile applications, a Euro Junior Euro unregistered trademark and a Euro Monetary Euro unregistered trademark, were launched. In July 2003, S-Phone, a commercial CDMA network, became operative in Vietnam. In August 2003, June became the world's first 3G service to have 1 million subscribers. In February 2004, SK won a contract for a joint venture with China Unicom, called UNISK. March 2004 marked a new breakthrough with the launch of Hanbayul, the World Euro unregistered trademark's first DMB satellite. Melon, an online music store, was launched in November 2004. A €1 unregistered trademark and a Euroleview, a Euro unregistered trademark, a digital photo frame service, we launched in April and November 2005, respectively. By December, Melon had 4 million subscribers. SK Telecom started 2006 with record revenues of 10 trillion South Korean won. In May, the world's first commercial HSDPA handset was released. May also saw the carrier's entry into the U.S. wireless communication market with Helio. In June, SK Telecom signed a strategic partnership with China Unicom to purchase CB worth $1 billion in its subsidiary, China Unicom Hong Kong. In the same month, SK deployed its WeBRO Internet network. In April 2007, a project to create TD-SCDMA, China's 3G wireless broadband equivalent, was signed with the Chinese government. Around that time, S-Phone had 2 million subscribers in Vietnam. Equals 2008 present, landline and new technologies equals. In November 2008, SK signed an agreement to buy a controlling stake of fixed-line phone company Hanaro Telecom for 1.09 trillion won from a consortium led by AIG and Newbridge Capital. The new entity will be the second-largest telecom firm in terms of total assets and revenues next to KT Corporation. In 2013, SK Telecom was the world's first operator to offer a commercial LTE advanced network. This coincided with the release of the Samsung Galaxy S4 LTE-A model, which offered a step-up CPU, and also LTE advanced capabilities. SK Telecom supported this handset at launch. On July 6, 2013, it was reported that Apple was in talks with SK Telecom to release the iPhone 5's model on SK's LTE advanced network. Services. As of September 2012, SK Telecom operates 2G as 95/CDMA 2000, 3G WCDMA HSPA+, 4G mobile WiMAX, and LTE networks. 2G network supports CDMA, CDMA 2000, and EV2. EV2 handsets are marked with its service name €OE Juna 3 Euros. G network supports WCDMA, HSPA, and HSPA+. SK Telecom has the best HSPA+ coverage in South Korea. HSPA+ is available in 50+ major cities and towns, while KT-HSPA+ is available in selected metropolitan areas. 3.9G LTE, which uses both Band 5 and Band 3, supports multi-carrier technology, which SK Telecom claims to be the first operator to offer. From May 2005 to September 2012, SK Telecom provided SDMB through its subsidiary TU Media. SDMB service was ceased in September 2012 after significant losses in its final years. SK Telecom also provides online multi-platform entertainment, business and financial services. Melon introduced in November 2004, Melon is SK Telecom's music e-store, which allows users to download or stream music over the Internet. Music can be played on mobile phones, digital audio players, portable media players and digital cameras. Users can create their own ringtones. In 2009, LOEN Entertainment, an SK Group record label, became the company in charge of running Melon. An Indonesian version of Melon was created in cooperation with PT Telkom Indonesia. M-Finance, an online banking system introduced in 2001, allows users to take charge of all their financial transactions. Properly equipped mobile phones can do basic banking such as wire transfers and checking balances as well as stock trading and credit card services. Users can also withdraw cash from ATMs using their phones. Digital Home. Digital Home allows users to control and monitor home appliances, lighting, security systems and fire alarms remotely. The service utilizes high-speed internet, telephone and cable networks to achieve functionality. Mobile RFID. Phones with embedded RF readers can give users key information about a product before making a purchase. SK Telecom has tested this technology for 6 applications including safety, authentication, package tracking, supply chain management, digital content usage and location-based services. International markets. SK Telecom is currently putting its efforts in expanding into global markets, such as Vietnam, US, and China. The company is also forging strategic alliances with other global carriers and IT businesses. China. In 2000, SK Telecom first entered China, later forming a joint venture with China Unicom for wireless Internet service in February 2004. This joint venture between a foreign and local company, UNISK, is the first of its kind in China. In 2006, SK Telecom bought $1 billion worth of convertible bonds of China Unicom Hong Kong, a division of China Unicom, and agreed to cooperate in joint sourcing of handsets, development of additional services, platform development, marketing and distribution, customer relationship management, and network development. One result of this partnership is jointly developing handsets to be sourced by Samsung, LG, and Motorola. In August 2006, SK Telecom signed an MOU making it the first non-Chinese company to participate in the TD-SCDMA project. Under the agreement, SK Telecom will work with China's National Development and Reform Commission on development of TD-SCDMA, China's 3G Internet standard equivalent. United States. Helio. On January 26, 2005, SK Telecom announced that it had formed a $440 million joint venture with Earthlink to form a new U.S. cellular carrier named SK Earthlink. Later that year, the name was changed to Helio. Combined with Earthlink, Helio is expected to offer a variety of advanced mobile devices, many of which are already available in Korea. These models would be refined and updated for use by tech-savvy American consumers, allowing for the first-time handsets with functionalities previously unavailable in the U.S. market. The now-defunct venture operated on the premise of being a mobile virtual network operator, using CDMA 1X EVDO network capacity leased from Sprint Nextel. In 2007, SK Telecom began talks to purchase a stake in Sprint Nextel, however by 2008 it had backed away from the deal. On June 27, 2008, it was reported that Helio was being acquired in an all-stock deal by Virgin Mobile. For a net acquisition price of $39 million a far cry from the $500 million originally invested in the venture. All staff were eliminated and the business ceased as a going concern. Mobile Money Ventures. On March 6, 2008, SK Telecom launched Mobile Money Ventures, a joint venture with Citibank. MMV designs, develops, implements, and supports mobile financial services solutions on a global scale. Its mobile money platform can support existing mobile banking services as well as next-generation services like P2P payments and NFC payments. On March 28, 2011, SK Telecom made a surprise bid to acquire bankrupt movie game rental company Blockbuster Incorporated. SK bid $284.5 million for Blockbuster, but ended up losing to Dish Network. SK Telecom Americas Inner Partners. On March 4, 2014, SK Telecom announced that its U.S. arm, SK Telecom Americas, Incorporated completed the establishment of the startup accelerator SK Telecom Americas Inner Partners. The accelerator invests in early-stage core technology startups. It is set up to incubate 11 startups at the same time, and currently is hosting 3 of them. Vietnam. In September 2001, SK Telecom established S Telecom, through a business cooperation contract with SPT, a Vietnamese phone company with a CDMA license. S Telecom, Vietnam's first CDMA wireless carrier, launched commercial services in July 2003 and has since upgraded its network to CDMA 2001X EV due to meet growing demand. Currently 64 cities including Ho Chi Minh City and Hanoi are served under the S-Phone brand. As of October 2006, the company was providing EV-DO wireless internet services in 5 major cities including Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City. S-Phone subscribers reached 2 million in April 2007, a little over 3 years after its start. Subsidiaries. SK Telecom has a number of subsidiaries that support its growth. In 2006, SK Communications expanded into new markets with an enhanced version of Korea's leading social networking site Cyworld. At home, Naton is the leading messenger service with more than 13 million users as of 2006. SK-Telink, the international telephony division, launched international Korean SMS messaging in the U.S. Today it operates in more than 170 countries. TU Media, the nationwide satellite digital multimedia broadcasting service, is also making fast growth, attracting over 1 million subscribers in 2006. SK Communications. Founded in 1999 as Cyworld Company, SK Communications is the technology company responsible for some of the most successful Internet tools and products in the Korean market. After the company's 2002 takeover by SK Telecom, online portal NATE was launched and has since grown to be one of the most popular portals in Korea. The largest social media site in Korea, Cyworld has seen a sharp rise in its membership, with members reaching 20 million from 16 million in 2005. SK Communications also provides the top instant messaging service Naton. As of December 2006, Naton had 13 million users and led the local market. In 2006, the Nate.com portal was revamped as a Web 2.0 user-centric site with an emphasis on personalized content and social networking. Cyworld 2 also relaunched with Web 2.0 offerings, including a personalized mini homepage, personalized search, UCC video and other user-customizable web-based applications. SK Communications is currently extending its online businesses into the global market. In 2006, localized versions of Cyworld were launched in China, Germany, Japan, Taiwan, the US, and Vietnam. To make full use of its premium base, the tech firm is building a portfolio of high-quality content providers, including education company DOS. Consumer shopping services under the CyMarket brand, which leverage Cyworld a Euro-1 registered trademark S network and traffic. Gaming subsidiary SKI Media. And Agloos, the leading independent blogging service in Korea. In addition, the company acquired a significant stake in a powerful online search engine, Empas, for 37.2 billion South Korean won. SK Planet SK Planet is the e-commerce division of SK headquartered in Pangyo. Business areas include digital contents, integrated commerce and marketing communication. Its October 2011 launch marked the reorganization of T-Store. SK Planet launched KIP, an app store in Japan. 11th is one of the biggest online store complexes in South Korea under the management of SK Planet. Other products include Smart Wallet, a mobile wallet service, OK Cashbag, an integrated mileage service, and Gifticon, a mobile voucher service. As part of the integrated commerce strategy, these services are being combined under the brand Syrup. On November 14, 2014, SK Planet formed a joint venture with Celcom Axiata Berhad of Malaysia. The new e-commerce company is known as Celcom Planet SDN. BHD, its online outlet is called 11th Street Malaysia. SK Link . Founded in April 1998 as an international telephony service provider, SK Link has grown into a major player in the international calling market. International call services are offered under the €700 a Euro-1 registered trademark brand. Building on the commercial long-distance telephony and value-added services launched in 2005, the carrier began offering Korean text messaging in June 2006 in the US. The service allows subscribers send and receive Korean text messages in the US, as well as to and from Korea. TU Media . Established in December 2003, TU Media Corporation introduced a new digital media service, a Euro satellite digital multimedia broadcasting. Subscribers can now view satellite TV broadcasts on their portable handsets or via vehicle-mounted terminals. As of December 2006, subscribers to TU Media topped 1 million, up from 372,000 in 2005. Its nationwide DMB is available on 37 channels, consisting of 16 video, 20 audio and 1 data, and provides programs on education, games, drama, music, news and culture. In 2006, TU Media launched TU BOX, a pay-per-view movie channel that allows subscribers to see movies prior to DVD release. In addition to South Korea's 84 cities, TU Media provides service in express highways and Seoul metropolitan subways. DMB coverage was later expanded to include the Korea Train Express Seoul to Busan Line, Busan subways and 10 metropolitan Seoul local highways. In 2010, TU Media was merged with another subsidiary, SK Link, a Euro Korea's leading international call service provider. DMB broadcasts ended 2 years later as it became uncompetitive in the mobile TV market. Arriva . Arriva Incorporated is a South Korean electronics and entertainment company founded in 1999 by 7 former Samsung executives. SK Telecom acquired it from Vogo Fund in 2014. Employee conditions: SK Telecom has its own workers' union. SK Telecom abides by the Korean labor law and is executing a retirement age of 58. Unless an employee commits a crime more serious than imprisonment or an act in violation of ethical management of SK Telecom, employees are guaranteed to work until they reach the retirement age. SK Telecom follows a management system called SKMS, created by SK companies. See also SK Group, SK Teletech, World, KT Corporation, LG Uplus, TU Media, SK Wyverns, SK Telecom T1. References. External links: SK Telecom website, SK Telecom T World website, SK Telecom's channel on YouTube, SK Telecom America's website.